up, yo? Welcome back to the Ash Vibe Show. My name is Malik Harris.
My name's Makatochini.
And this is where you come to. Vibe with the Tribe. So today we are watching a video about NECRIT, actually.
Yes.
Him officially writing lore for the League of Legends universe. I know a little bit of info based off like the Discord, us getting like our notes and whatnot, taking that, doing a little bit of research. I know he's writing on TFT. I know a lot of people are, had different hopes and desires and stuff. I did see the preview trailer. Have you seen the trailer for? I don't think you have. I'm gonna watch that private. You know what? We're gonna watch that first. That way, it kind of leads into this because it really, kind of goes hand in hand with this, and you can kind of have a better idea of certain things. I don't want to just be mentioning things and you're just like, what the hell are you talking about, Malik? Everyone wants their champ in Lore of Legends. Hold on, not ready. We'll jump into this first video and then we'll, talk a little bit more about this subject in general. If you guys have any notes or things you guys want to fill in for us and let us know what's going on with everything here, that'd be dope. NECRIT'S definitely been in the community for a long time. Obviously, for those of you who've been here, we've watched a lot of his videos.
Yes.
He's helped guide us through all kinds of lore diving and all kinds of things. So, yeah. Let's jump into this.
Julian, bro, we got to get set in the set. In fact, all the sets. The set is set themed.
Well, the set is Runeterra themed, and there's only one set in Runeterra, but you can definitely get on the set.
Sick.
Hey, do we need any one-cost tanks? Because I have the best idea for one. Poppy. Can she be part of the set?
We're actually good at one-cost tanks this time around.
But Poppy is in the set, right? Please, she's my favorite.
We'll see what we can do.
Hey, Julian, I hear we're asking for champions. Can you get Rift Herald in there?
Rift Herald isn't a champion.
She is to me.
Thresh, or I won't help with the set.
No.
Julian, I know you said you
Hey!
Can you at least do Brock?
What even is a Brock?
I like how he still has like the little mini microphone he always uses.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Also, what
Is that a world
even...
Wait,
I know you said you can't do Bengal.
Pants.
Can you at least do Brock?
What even is a Brock? Also, why are you here?
Mom? Oh, man.
You want who in the set? And who? Mom, I can't possibly get on the ship. I will. Okay. Yep, I will. I'll get them all in. Okay. I love you.
Hey, Julian. I think you know who I want in the set.
Hey, Mark Merrill, co-founder of Riot Games and my boss's boss's boss. Yeah, we can get your number in the set.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're not gonna say no to the boss. The main man. Dude.
It's hard to say no to most of these people.
Oh.
I can't possibly fit all these champions into the set. Mort!
Silly.
It was you all along? Yes, Julian. I think I have a way we can unlock all these champs and more. First, head to Demacia. I'll check out Shurima.
Wait, what?
I like how they're focused in Demacia and Shurima too, because we haven't.
Yep, that's
there
me.
yet.
You might be wondering how I found myself in Demacia. Well, you'll find out on Friday during the KO Coliseum's Tactician's Crown. We'll be airing the entire dev drop for the new set, revealing our game-changing mechanic, a ton of traits, and more.
I like how they bridge those together. I don't think We don't necessarily need to watch the dev drop, just because we're not playing the game super heavy or anything. We watch a lot of like dev drops like Marvel Rivals, but that's because we play that weekly. You know what I mean? So
Daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
I'd say daily. That's crazy.
I mean,
I would like to play it daily, but no, we don't.
not lately, no. Yeah. But we did play it heavily. Still play it.
Yeah,
very
still
heavily.
play it pretty well. Yep. All right, let's jump into this second video. How he wrote canon lore for Riot Games. I feel like he'll probably refer to that trailer and, you know, other behind the scenes thing. Hey, it's the same pants on that he had in that video, I think.
Yeah, it is.
New pants, new lore. All right, let's dive.
15 years of only looking from afar, I got to officially join the fun. And against all odds, Riot let me write some lore for one of their canonical universes. Which does technically make me the most unofficial writer there is. And so now I can proudly say that one of the most interesting pieces of Riot's lore will be nested in TFT for all eternity. And the entire process of how that happened was quite interesting.
Right
so why don't we go on a little bit of a journey?
Hold on. I like how it's like a video of a video of a video.
How that happened was quite interesting. So why don't we go on a little bit of a journey? This all started roughly in the second quarter of 2025, which is where I got to have a call with a few writers, and that's where they showed me the name of set 16 of TFT as well as the entire theme. Now, since the set was about lore and legends, I did get a vague idea of what might be possibly happening. I assumed that maybe NECRIT could be a cool unit in TFT. I mean, they are making their own new models now. Or maybe there could be some other kind of integration happening. But what I did not expect is them asking me if I would be down to write some lore for them. Because yes, with this set, the opportunity was perfect. And perfect it was. But we'll get to that. First, it was time to wait till summer. That is when I got to hop on the classic 10-hour-long flight into the Riot headquarters. And yes, I had to go there physically because it was lining up with some other things. And for context, because there were so many events happening this year, that was my third time with that flight, which means thankfully my body is immune to jet lag now. And if you're asking how I managed to deal with it, well, I played 10 hours of Silk Song on that flight.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
And then I slept at the hotel for 12 hours. But the next day I was completely fine.
He knows routine.
And so the working began.
Oh, jeez.
Now, we'll get to the writing in a moment, because first there was another thing we had to tackle. This was the reason why I had to be there physically. That's right, if you've seen either the teaser video for set 16 or the entire reveal video, you might have noticed me. And yes, I am holding the mic the classic NECRIT'S style. But the point is, that was not a green screen. That was actually me. And let me tell you something about it. This was the moment I realized TFT is likely doing really well behind the scenes. Because the production was crazy. It wasn't just any kind of a devlog being recorded. We're talking about a proper set that was built inside the TFT office with a full production crew and a proper director. I'm telling you, there is no difference between recording a Netflix series or a blockbuster movie and a TFT dev drop. And it honestly felt amazing, and I loved every moment. There was a proper script, there was proper acting, and yes, that also meant makeup. I can tell you that was the first time I ever had makeup on. But more importantly, let's talk about those pants. You might have noticed, I've never had those pants in any of my videos, and oh boy do I have a lot of pajama pants. You see,
I'm glad we're getting to the important details of,
for real.
of the topic here.
because this was a whole proper production, they also had their own wardrobe. Now, when I marched in, because I knew something would be happening, I brought my own blue pajama pants, which was an issue, because then I learned that in the next scene we would be using blue screen, so blue pajama pants were not ideal. The problem was, their wardrobe was not prepared for someone to be wearing pajama pants, and so the only pants they had that resembled pajama pants were these. And yes, at the end of the recording, they told me I can keep these. So these are my TFT pants now. And so, with me finally ready,
so he
the
switches
first scene
over
that was recorded
from lore
was
to TFT lore.
this one. And
right.
yes,
It's
I
all
basically
lore, right?
told
The
the
same.
director, hey,
Right.
can I hold a lav mic in my hand? Even if it's not plugged in, that's what I do in my videos, and I thought it would be funny. And they agreed.
Nice.
And so they gave
Already
me a fake
writing.
mic to hold. But that's when we got to our first break, which means it was time for our first break. And lo and behold, when we got to the break, which means it was time for our first
Pizza,
break.
rice.
What was that?
Yeah. Looks like just meat, cut up barbecued meat, and then you got your strawberries.
Barbecue meat.
Ooh, they got little Crocs. Yeah, you didn't know what's
Meat
up.
cut up with barbecue meat. That pizza. It's very mid. Not gonna lie.
Hey man,
Not
some
gonna lie.
of the European pizzas over there
Not
are
the
pretty good.
It just looks
Hey man, looks can be deceiving.
looks
Man.
subpar. Strawberry subpar, right? You should be feeding this man grapes off the vine and fucking
Put him in the sea and
beef.
waving him down with the
Yeah.
fan.
Beef straight out of the cow, shaved, fresh. Crazy.
He's not.
And lo and
savage.
behold, when we got to their cafeteria, we found the NECRIT peach tea,
What?
which apparently was made out of real honey fruit. But yes, on that day, anyone at Riot would be able to drink my tea. And so now it makes sense why Riot randomly asked me what's my favorite drink to drink. And so then it was
Also,
time
they
for
made
day
that tea
2,
for him.
which started in a hilarious way. The recording for the second day started at 7 in the morning. And so we had to be at Riot at 7. Now, you need to understand that the entirety of LA wakes
I was
up
like-
at 11.
I was like, wait, is this California? I was thinking he was in Europe. And then I was looking at the palm trees and shit, and I'm like, wait a minute. The Ferris wheel over there, I was like, wait. This is Santa Monica Pier, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Crazy.
For some reason, like I'm telling you, that's when all the shops actually open. You will not see a living soul in the streets up until like 10. And so when I say we had to be at Riot at 7 in the morning, that was like a middle of the night to them. And so at 6:30 we were at Riot, and there was nobody. All the headquarters were empty, which got us really confused because we thought something was supposed to be happening there. And then, completely randomly, as we walked around the office looking for someone, we found Mordog at 6:30 at Riot. He was just there on his computer, working. That person is a working ethic menace. But
I don't know why it's clicking for me that I had no idea that Riot was in LA. I think because of watching like the documentary of
The art
Riot.
studio.
Yeah, the art
And
studio
then-
when they're creating Arcane and stuff being in Europe, that I was mentally I was thinking that it was in Europe, but that makes so much sense why they have so many different events and stuff in Cali. Yeah, the fact that I just went to the San Francisco event and literally just a few hours away from fucking Riot Studios, like how have we not been to Riot Studio? I feel like we should have access to that somehow. I think that's going to be the goal for 2026. I just
think
feel
it's still
like
too
no.
early for
I think
that.
between like the film plugs and shit, I feel like we can get on the Riot Studio.
I feel like we could.
I
but
really
mean,
feel like we can. I know a lot of people in Cali that work different things, and I just feel like we should have that opportunity.
Well, if you guys want to see us get the plug and go into Riot Studios next year, comment down
I'll write
below
a
and
note.
let us know. And yeah,
Even if we
definitely
have
make that
to
happen.
break in,
Whoa,
if we
wait,
have to sneak
whoa,
onto
whoa,
the set,
no,
I'm
no.
willing to do it.
I know. Okay, you're willing
All right,
to do it.
just want to make sure that's clear.
Okay. He said he.
We'll see. We'll see what we can do. Hit that subscribe button, by the way. Just in case I go to
No,
prison.
that would be
you
pretty
know.
cool to be there on set legally. I gotta express that enough to anybody that's listening.
If anyone from Riot is watching this, yes, legally. If it's anyone else that's watching this, if police are also watching this, then nah, I wouldn't actually do that. It's crazy.
I mean,
That's
I did
insane.
see you eyeing those figurines when you're down in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, fuck, they had this big ass like Ash figurine. It's like $300 and something, and then they had Kaiser, crazy. And then I guess they didn't make too many. I was talking like the artist was there. Yeah, it's a whole long story. If you guys want to see convention stuff, you guys can check out our Ashtaverse page, which has all our Comic-Con vlogs and stuff like that. So yep. All right.
yes, then we found out that the recording was happening in a building next to Riot. So we moved there, and our second day of recording started, which meant the classic makeup first and acting performance later. And that's when I can point out, this was the moment I technically learned Zahen's name about 6 months before he was revealed.
Oh,
like,
wow.
no one ever talked about it, no one mentioned it, but yes, I was standing on the set next to a person that was casually name-dropping Zahen.
You may even be able to field the league's new champion, the ultra-powerful, ultra-enlightened, darkened Zahen.
But yes, the entire set was awesome. There was a lot of physical props on a blue screen, and I had so much fun with my pretend acting. I did also get an applause after I finished recording my final scene, which made me feel like a rat that accidentally stumbled into a Hollywood set. But then we were done with the recording, which gets us to the second part of the journey. Now, technically, there was also a small third part, because while we were at Riot, 2XKO was launching, and so there was a massive party next door, but we did not have time to have a look at that. Anyway, then it was time to write. Now, the writing process was quite interesting because it was a real official deal. And so I was given a topic, or in this case, I was given a part of TFT's universe to focus on, after which the writing cycle began. First, there was brainstorming, then we had to focus on the deliverables, then we took a break to have everything settle in, after which we came back and we put together the final result. Which is where we should talk about what I actually wrote about. It turns out, TFT's universe works quite differently from the League of Legends universe. And that is because the TFT universe is essentially a multiverse. And that is what the Convergence is. Bangu and all the other little legends are the heroes who travel across the Convergence by hopping through portals and exploring the vast multiverse, where, in theory, you would be able to find versions of the canonical Runeterra, which is exactly what the new set is focusing on. But throughout the entirety of TFT's existence, there is one thing that just never got to have its own lore, and that's the River Sprites. How is it possible that the first little legend to be part of the TFT universe never got its own backstory? And that is despite the fact that the River Sprite has many different versions now. We don't know what these are, we don't know what they are doing, and we don't know where they came from. And so, that's what I got to deal with. Long story short, I became the official author of the River Sprite lore. But the twist is,
that's cool.
I won't tell you what the lore is. You see, if there is something I always loved in the League of Legends universe, it is the moment where you are given somewhat of a vague lore, where the best part is hidden behind a veil. The best example of this is the demonic lore of Runeterra. When Fiddlesticks came out, it was really cool to read about how Fiddlesticks works as a demon. But the juiciest part of the demonic lore was hidden in the compendium, or in the poem that talks about a maw that devoured the rest. That is where you can technically learn about the origin of demons, but no one really managed to crack it. And because I loved that lore hunting moment so much, that's what I did here. The lore I wrote for the River Sprites was designed in such a way so that you would have to piece it together. And it turns out there were a lot of places for me to hide the breadcrumbs. From little legends descriptions, to flavor texts, to emote descriptions, to the loading screen tips. There was simply a lot of playground to play with the result being that if you want to learn about the sprites, including where they came from, as well as the lore of something that might be yet to come, you better look everywhere in the new set. What is also cool is that even though TFT is technically completely separate from the League universe, or at least the events of TFT can't affect League's canonical lore, in theory, TFT can still peer into the canonical universe of League. This means that I was able to set up a cool nod towards something else that was already written before. But if anyone manages to crack that one open, I would be mighty surprised. The best part is, as part of the writing process, all the material that I made will be archived for future potential use. Meaning that if Riot, for example, comes up with a new set that will be focusing on River Sprites, I am making this up, by the way, they would have to reach into the archives and pull out the lore that I wrote, which makes me really excited. But that is essentially it. This is how Riot allowed me to write a piece of their canonical universe. And I loved every moment of it. Again, I wish I could tell you the exact story I wrote, but I would completely ruin the experience because I find it way cooler if the community finds it themselves. And so I would really like to thank the TFT team who allowed me to do this. In fact, I didn't ask for this. They told me to do it. It was their idea and they will pay the consequences. And as a result, I got one massive achievement for life.
Nice.
I can get my official page on the wiki because I am official author now.
Crazy. And the nice part is this is just like an intro into the possibilities of what he could do. Because I mean, like with any bigger company, like there's so much writing on it, especially when it comes to like writing original substance of any kind. So
yeah,
I imagine this is like a tester, kind of plants a seed. You know, he might start studying writing a little bit more. They might find something else. Seeing how well he did, you know, the positive feedback that the fans had and stuff like that. So
yeah,
who knows what else he could potentially do? You know what I mean? In the long run. So yeah, man, super dope, and motivating to see someone who starts from like, you know, humble beginnings of YouTube and then, you know, is a fan of something.
Die-hard fan.
Yeah, to becoming a part of the lore, you know, years back when they inserted in as a character into the lore, to now him writing for the lore, you know what I mean? And it's not like he's like 75. It's like he has a lot of years to live to continue to grow with the company and whatnot. So yeah, man, super dope.
That's
super
awesome.
Dope.
Congrats to you, Necrit.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's
good work. Good job, man.
Super dope. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to cut it for this video. I know there's a lot more different content, stuff like that. Like I said, we are kind of catching up on some things. We also have like our anime stuff. I'm also going to be doing a lot of comic book, like lore diving, like solo stuff. So if you guys have any recommendations for anything, make sure to post in the comments. Yep, that's all I got. Join our Discord. Okay.
You guys already know what to do. Thank you guys for being here to watch this episode with us. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, y'all. Much love. Peace.